Okay, well, if we are live now and the stream is going, this is the quarterfinals of the Fumble Crown of Sand tournament. And this is Morehouse. I'm one of the Fumble coaches. I'm actually in this tournament. And then Throweck will introduce himself. He's also here with me.
Hello. Yeah, I am here. I'm just trying to get the stream up so I can see what's going on. Yeah, we're good. I'm Throweck. Hello, tournament person. And yeah, here to talk to you through the game, which will be quite exciting. So it's a new thing that we're trying to do here, just to add a little bit more dimension to Fumble and the tournament scene. So we'll see what we think. And when the game's open, feel free to talk in the chat box or wherever else, and we'll try and pick it up, and we'll try to interact as best we can with you as well. But I think the first thing to do, Morehouse, is should we have a look at these teams?
Yeah, and just like you said, reminding everyone, bear with us a little bit. It'll be a little probably awkward. This is our first run through doing a stream like this, so we'll do the best we can. All right, I've got. You want to do Rawlf's team first? I got the Wood Elves up on my computer right now.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, so Rawlf is a top-notch Wood Elf coach.
Yeah,
he won a major tournament with his ranked team before, so it wouldn't be any surprise to see him win another one here.
Plenty of players, plenty of bench.
Yeah. He's got everything you really need, and some things you don't really need, but he'll take, like a Strength 5 War Dancer.
Well, yeah, who needs one of those, honestly?
You can win without one, but it's more fun to win with one, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It'd be interesting to see, because obviously we've got Dwarves, and interestingly, they're both box teams as well, aren't they? So it's the only two box teams in the qualifier which have ended up facing each other in the first round.
Are they the only two box teams in the final 8? I was not aware of that, but yeah.
Yeah, the others are ranked.
Okay, yep, there you go. And this is a big elf team too, with a lot of really good players. So if that's something to pay attention to, the people who think that that can't be done in box, that's only a ranked thing. And obviously, Rawlf's doing it.
Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation, isn't it, about ranked and box and tournaments. And let's not get into that today. Let's save that for another time.
But worth mentioning. Just you got to understand that when you're going into this game, that because it's a box team, Rawlf has obviously played a lot of basher type games before, so
absolutely
no surprise to him.
Especially at this high TV, and that's quite unusual in box. So he's done well. I played this team in box, and he really beat me.
yeah. Well, you weren't the first, and you won't be the last. But he also has the natural one turner, which is obviously an important weapon for him.
He's got plenty of tools in the box.
That player.
Yeah.
What's that? I'm sorry, I missed you there.
No, I just said he's got plenty of tools in the box, hasn't he? He's got with you.
Oh yeah.
Strength 5 War Lance. I think mine was going to have a bit of problem with him. And it all depends really on. All depends on dice at the end of the day, doesn't it? But I think we'll see.
Yeah, and we can get into it more when we see Malmir's team. I think he'll be okay from the War Dancer. If once his drive gets going and if his cage gets settled, you're really vulnerable to that as Dwarves. If he can get you with a blitz, which would be really unfortunate, or a really good kick right off the bat can be tough before you can get your cage settled. You're really vulnerable to that War Dancer.
Yeah, because with Strength 5. You're going to have to cage really well to just even negate a 1D, aren't you?
Yep. But that's one thing that I think we can expect from Malmir. He's a really, really smart, fundamentally sound coach. I think once his cage gets set and he's I guess shouldn't say when, if he gets his cage set and he gets comfortable, he'll have the guards in the right position to where there won't be any 2D blocks on the ball. I am pretty confident we'll see that.
Yeah, definitely. What's good is two really good coaches as well. So there's some good coaches, apart from you, there's some good coaches in the last 8, I think.
Yeah. I think Malmir is absolutely, top class, at all time. throughout the whole history of Fumble has been a great player. And Rawlf, he's a great player, obviously. I don't know him as well. I don't know if he's a little newer, or maybe I just wasn't playing as much when he's been playing a lot, because I haven't played Rawlf nearly as many times as I've played Malmir, but I know his reputation is also a great player, so I expect him to play very well also.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Shall we take a look at the Dwarves?
Yeah, let's do. The first thing you're going to notice, obviously, is we had a really rough qualifiers final, and he's missing 4 players.
He's lost some key players, yeah. I've played this team as well, but I think I had a very fortunate game. But they're a tough team, actually. Really quite varied skills across the board, plenty of guard, and obviously tackle across the board is key against elves, isn't it? So that could be a real factor.
Yeah. Of all the bash teams, Dwarves, when I play Wood Elves, Dwarves are the ones I hate the most. Just the mass tackle and guard. And, thick skull is underrated even to go with that armor. It's really hard to take any of them out. I think a lot of the talk has been that Malmir might just get blown out here because the team is so beat up and everything. But I think this will be a really close game. I'll be surprised if Rawlf.
I'm hoping it's going to be close. And actually, when you're looking at the team and you've got both Troll Slayers missing a game, so Dauntless has gone on the Strength 5 Ward answer. So I don't know. How does that work with his inducements, do you think? What would you take?
Well, that's interesting. I think the Dwarves can be okay playing down in team value because they've got the core skills. If you base your team around guard is one of the things. There's very few stars that have guard. It's hard to induce that. But if you've got enough guard, which he does, you don't need to worry about that so much. And then against elves, it's tough. I could see him taking a chainsaw or something like that and trying to get a shot at the Strength 5 Ward answer with that. He could go like a more fouling route and take a couple dirty player mercenaries and some bribes. It'll be interesting. I'm not sure what he'll do.
No, I'm not either. I think I'll probably take a couple of cards just in case, because I do think cards are underrated sometimes.
Yeah, I think the standard kind of thought process is that cards work really well for agility teams and less well for bash teams. But I think they work well for both. I used cards to pretty good effect against some elves with my orcs in the last major, so that could be a good choice also. The big loss for Malmir, obviously, is he did have a Strength 5 runner that got killed in the last game. So he'll be carrying the ball with a Strength 4 runner, which isn't too shabby either. But this one is minus movement, so movement 5 runner, and that can be tough to get that guy in a cage and protected right off the kickoff. That'll be I think the key to the game is on Malmir's drive how quickly he can get the ball and get it protected before Rawlf gets a shot at it.
Yeah. I wonder if they're going to turn up. I know Malmir's around, isn't he?
Yes, I think he is, and I did ping Rawlf a little earlier. Krister, beg your pardon. Krister says he's on the site.
I was going to take so much. I need to get used to that.
I know. The funny thing is, I've never really said it out loud before because I just say it in my head, obviously, when you read it. But yeah, I've definitely committed to the wrong pronunciation over the years, so I'm going to have to get used to that.
Yeah. Okay, both are on the site. Thanks, Krister.
Yes. Thank you, Krister.
I still think there'll be people listening to this going, thought it was Krister.
Yeah, we're going to have to make sure we spread the word on that once we start doing these. We should actually take a fumble poll. Someone should do a forum poll on how his name is pronounced and see how many people are wrong.
Okay, we've got the go-ahead from both of them now. So it's all good. We're on it.
Okay, they're going to be starting up the game pretty quick here.
Yeah, let's hope so.
All right, and it'll be up to Krister to get the YouTube stream synced up here, so he's got the game up on that. I'm sure he's got that under control. And everybody, just let me know for the people who are watching this live. I've got headphones in, so if there's any background noise, my dogs start barking or whatever, I might not hear it. So let me know, and I'll turn off my mic and tell them to shut up.
Yeah, same here with my kids. I might not tell them to shut up.
The standard's a little different for how nice you have to be with this humans versus dogs, I guess.
Well,
that's debatable, right? Depending on the kids.
Absolutely.
And depending on the dogs.
Yeah, there are 12 people watching on YouTube, which is great.
Yeah, I thought about actually sharing that stream on the Blood Bowl Facebook group, which I comment on sometimes, but I figured let's get one under our belt and figure out what we're doing first, and before we start advertising it to the wider world.
Let's not grow too quickly.
Right. We don't need a huge audience this first time. It could be a disaster. Let's only embarrass ourselves in front of a few people the first try.
Yeah, Flicks is enough in my opinion, so he'll give us enough grief anyway.
Oh man, you can't embarrass yourself in front of Flicks. He's embarrassing enough.
Yeah, good point. So we're just waiting now for the game to start. I think both teams are ready. So just an interesting point on that. The tournament rules are that whoever has the highest TV has to ready first, just in case people didn't know.
Yeah, I actually tend to just ready my team post game after I play. I don't really do it based on the opponent, so I never really had to work on that. But yeah, it's a good thing for people to keep in mind.
Yeah, I think. I think sometimes it's important if it's considerably close. Especially, I think it was more beneficial in the days of the Wizard, because you might want to just not take that extra lineman in case you wanted the Wizard. Oh,
sure. You get people, if you've got 140K or whatever, you're trying to trim off one little piece of a coach or something. Yep, for sure. I've always kind of taken the point of view that I worry about my team and not the other team. I think when you get too much worried about what is the other guy doing, how do I counter what he's doing, it's the wrong line of thinking. But yeah, I know a lot of people play that game.
Yeah, okay, we're on. It's loading up. They're starting. So we'll see people in game.
Okay, yep, I will go ahead and load the game up. We'll be ready to go.
And Specs, if you're in game, feel free to type stuff. We might comment on stuff. We'll just see how it goes. People are cheering already. Fantastic.
Pete is in chat, seeming to kind of doubt what I just said about not caring what the other coach does, which is interesting because he's my next opponent. But I don't care what you do, Pete. All right, now I'm going to have to turn down game sounds in my headphones a little bit because they are drowning out everything.
Same here.
But that's good. We got an active crowd already.
I've had to mute spectators. But hello, Pete.
Oh, I'm going to try to keep the spectators on so I can kind of hear the cheering and react to it if necessary, but I've got it on real quiet in my headphones, so hopefully it won't be a problem. All right. Looks like Malmir's got Morg and a chainsaw and then 5 dirty tricks. So we both predicted part of the strategy there, looks like.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I always feel that when somebody goes for 5 dirty tricks, it means they haven't got pit trap yet.
Yeah, there are a few good ones, but yeah, sometimes when you have a lot of them, that's a sign that you drew some bad ones.
Let's say hello to Pete's children as well. Hi, Pete W's kids.
Are we giving a shout out to Pete's kids? All right.
Why not?
Did anybody see who won the coin toss? I wasn't quite loaded in yet. Did Malmir choose to receive, or did Rawlf make him receive?
Thanks, Flix.
Okay, yep.
Okay,
Flix
so
is telling us.
there, Saws on. Yeah, okay.
So that's always a bit of a controversial choice, especially with Bash versus agility. Do you take the ball first and try to hurt? Oh, I'm sorry, he's on defense, but do you do what he's doing here and play defense first, or do you try to get the ball and do some damage first? That's kind of a...
I've always been a receiver. No jokes.
That's right. I've heard that about you.
Yeah. I think with elves, I tend to kick a little bit more, but I don't tend to play elves that much. But as I don't know, as Rawlf, what would you be doing? Would you be scoring quickly to get rid of the saw? I don't know.
Yeah, I think Malmir is set up in a way that he is inviting Rawlf to try to score quickly, but I don't think we'll see that. I think Rawlf will take his time. The chainsaw is one thing, but it's going to be really tough for Malmir to use that chainsaw a lot and protect it. What happens a lot with the chainsaw is the first time you really take it out and try to get something with it, it gets killed itself right back the next turn.
Yeah. And what's your opinion on Morg? I always think I should take Morg because he's Morg, but then I never take him and I take something else instead.
I think a lot of people will say that Morg is overpriced at the 430K or whatever he is, and I think there's some truth to that. But in a game like this where you just have so much inducement money, you don't really know what to do with it. I think Morg isn't a bad play. I think he's okay right here.
He's certainly going to. See, I just don't know myself. It's just elves will just dodge away quite easily.
Yep. I think Mal might have got to the point where he just thought, well, what else do I spend it on?
Yeah, his team's pretty big, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he's not really a huge fouler, so he's not the type of guy who would take a bunch of dirty players and and bribes. So maybe, and even against Blodge, Morg can get 3 dice. That's a decent chance for a pow.
Yeah, absolutely. I will just do a little log, actually, just while they're setting up, just to attract people's attention if we need to.
Okay, sure. And it looks like Rawlf is all set up, so here we go. Looks like Malmir, it looks like Malmir has something here he's using right off the bat.
Witch's brew. That's what I'm going for.
That sounds likely. Yep.
Yes. Come on. I'm so easily pleased.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think I might have saved that for when I'm on offense. I would rather disable that war dancer when I have the ball, I think.
Yeah. And really stupid could help as well, actually. That's not a bad roll.
Oh yeah. It's that's a good card to get, especially when the other team has one dominant player. That really limits how you can use that player for this drive. One of the spectators kind of commenting that He's not sure about using the chainsaw on defense. I think that's something that people would also debate. Do you want that on offense, or do you want to use that right away when the other guy has the ball? It's a tough call.
I'm never sure there's a right call because it's such a risk, isn't it? It's a 1 in 6 every time. So I'd probably use it on defense. And maybe I think I'd probably do what Mal's done and use it first, just so you've got it and can maybe try and do some damage.
Yep. And if you use it on the first drive, there's always a chance you roll that 6 and you get to use it again on the second drive. So I may be making that decision myself in a couple days. Hint, hint to Pete.
Don't play him on a Sunday. Don't play him on a Sunday.
I'm a churchgoer too, so he doesn't get that kind of magic against me.
That's right. Same here. So we're all in the same realm.
So Rawlf's setting up here like he intends to stall. Obviously, that's not any kind of quick scoring formation there. So it seems like at least for a few turns, he's going to kind of hang back.
Yeah, that tree's going to tie those dwarves up quite nicely, isn't it?
Yeah, the tree is great for dwarves. That's one of the few races that the tree is really effective against generally. Something that Rawlf has in his back pocket here is that this dwarf team with the injuries is so slow that he could really score later in the half, turn 5, turn 6, and the odds of Malmir getting a counter score are very low, but you never know. If he gets a blitz or something, he could score twice before half, so that's something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I mean, it's a classic setup, isn't it? Dwarves versus elves. What else could you want?
Yeah.
What else could you want?
Yep. I always like these kind of games the best. They're kind of a style match of two totally different teams. That makes it interesting.
It's also nice to see Kemri represented in the finals as well.
Yeah, that's a forlorn race, and we've got a team in the semifinals now. So obviously, once you're in the last 4, you've got a chance. That would be big news. Ace to Flix has his doubts about the Kemri team, though, but we'll see. He's got a game to take care of first.
I was going to say, let's see how Flix does in the next game.
All right, just a good, solid positional turn by Malmir there. That's what you can always expect from him. He's never going to get his guys too out of shape.
No, he's not going to commit too much to anything. Just keep it nice and straight across the board. It'd be interesting to see who makes the first move or when the elves actually do decide to just push forward a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. That's a big strategy question here is how long do you stall and what point do you try to make a move? I think if you're the elf coach, you probably feel like you can score about whenever you want to. Of course, it doesn't always work out that way, but when you actually go for it, it will be an interesting call.
What Ralph's really good at is, they're both actually very good at protecting their core players, aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, we talked earlier about how this is a box elf team, especially. And it's not easy to keep, strength 5 war dancers and the like alive when you're playing in black box games or any games really, but especially those. So he knows what he's doing when it comes to keeping these guys protected and keeping them fit.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll see any significant injuries and deaths. I'm sure we will see something. Like I said, if they're both generally, when you have two players that are so good at protecting their key players, it tends to be just the fodder that gets injured, which is what you want, isn't it?
Yeah, yep. And I think anything like that will be more likely to happen later in the game. You don't want to throw your best punches right off the bat, or a lot of players don't. So if anybody, if that strength 5 war dancer, for example, is going to get hit, it won't be until he absolutely needs him to get hit later in the game. And one half of the commentary team has a potential vested interest in seeing a lot of these guys get hurt, so keep that in mind.
Just try it out for me.
Of course.
This is a little more passive than I like by Rawlf here.
Yeah, it's not the start I was expecting either, to be honest.
Yeah, well, he's fine and everything, but I always like to give myself at least the chance to score fast. If you have a couple guys downfield, you spread the other team out a little bit more, and then the opponent at least has to consider that you might score fast. When you set up like this, Malmir has no worries at all about the ball going past him, so he can kind of just do whatever he feels like.
I'm not sure what they're scared of, Flips. So who would you be trying to take out then this turn?
Yep, I should add too that. Go ahead.
I was just saying I'll probably try and take the catcher out on the blitz.
Yep, I think so. And I was going to say, for the people on YouTube, the fumble chat spectator log is not showing for them if they're watching on YouTube. So sometimes if we're reacting to something that a spectator says, they might not get it or understand it, but that's what we're talking. That's who we're talking to, the fumble spectators. There you go, to the 3D. Oh, and a good hit.
Morg.
And that'll always draw some cheers.
Yeah,
good old
Morg
casualty.
No great loss, but still one less player on the pitch this drive.
Yep. It's better to hurt him than to not hurt him. You always got to take that. And I certainly won't cry about Rawlf missing a dirty player, and I'm sure neither will Pete.
So I like the way that Mal is trying to force the L's towards the upper side of the pitch. By doing a bit of a left, like a bottom flank or right flank, if you're looking at it.
Yeah, I think he actually is baiting that a little bit with, he's got 3 guys down covered, 1 wrestle lineman. You're thinking, why in the world, what's going on down there? But I think he might actually be trying to just tempt Rawlf into moving a little bit and going forward.
Yeah, trying to force a score a little bit or just a bit of movement so he can make a play.
Yep, for sure. That's, Malmir is a really, really good counter puncher type of player. He's not usually the type to take a huge risk, but he wants the other coach to take a risk, and then he responds to it really well. So that could be what he's trying to do here.
Just a slight aside, my daughter will be coming home soon and she's had to have a foot in a cast, so I might just disappear for 5 minutes, but I will be back. But I'll let you know when that happens.
No problem. I'll be able to take over for a minute by myself whenever that happens. And best wishes to your daughter. Hope she gets well soon.
Yeah, she's a real clumsy fool.
Is that what you told her? That's what you get for not paying attention to where you're going?
I think she's broken her foot twice now in the past 6 weeks.
Oh my
gymnastics.
goodness.
Yeah, well, she does gymnastics, so it's all crazy. Anyway, back to the game.
For sure. All right. So Rawlf does go past the dwarves and set up to be in a position to score.
And it's quite early to do that, isn't it? Turn 3.
Yeah, I think I don't expect him to actually score next turn or anything, but I think he'll probably try to stall down by the end zone for a couple more turns.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just think it'll be easier for the dwarves to hopefully push the score.
Yep. It is a risk. I'm a little surprised that he still decided to carry the ball with the Witch's Brew, because you could always have a turn where you really need to move that guy, and if you get a Snake Eyes or something where the really stupid triggers, you could find yourself in some trouble. That's a nice little play though to get an extra screen through there. And just a good classic Wood Elf turn, cut him up a little bit, and put himself back on the right end.
Yeah, and actually with that move, he's taken those bottom 5 players out of the game this turn.
Yep, that's well done. I'm sure Malmir will adjust to it properly, but that's a good move.
We have 17 people watching.
Yeah,
that's good.
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Not bad for a trial run.
No, not at all. And feel free, people, if you want to type anything if you're watching it on Fumble and you want to type anything into the chat box, we can respond to it because we can see that too. You just can't see it on YouTube.
Yep.
Will we see a blitz with the saw here, do you think, on the War Dancer?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. At first, it occurred to me that he might try to blitz Morg through to get him back into play, but looks like we'll see. If you do that here, you get that shot on the War Dancer, which is great, but you got to understand the saw is probably gone next turn. Yeah, so he goes with just a standard Mighty Blow Dwarf blitz. Oh, no. Oh, man, that's the worst of both worlds.
Yeah.
He's very likely now. Yeah, he's likely now to lose the saw anyway without getting that blitz. So tough play. I mean, that's Blood Bowl sometimes. Malmir made a good play there with a Mighty Blow tackle Dwarf trying to hit a niggled AG5 Wood Elf. That's a good play. It's a good use of the reroll because he has plenty left and just rerolled it a double skull, so nothing you can do about it.
And it happens.
Yes, too often when you're the one doing
it. Yeah. Almost it's not as bad as double skulls into double skulls, which is just
true.
Especially when you've done that pause after I can't believe I rolled double skulls. It will be all right.
Yeah. Well, at least I got this reroll. Shoot.
What's he going to do? Do you think he'll stall another turn?
Yeah, but I would like to put a hit on the chainsaw. He hasn't used his blitz yet.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I think he will move that wrestle lineman up there to give an assist right here, and then come blitz the chainsaw with the War Dancer, and then it'd be nice to set up a stall for more turns.
Okay.
Oh, saw his armor holds though, so that's nice.
Okay.
His armor holds, but now you got him on a wrestle lino, and I'm sure Rawlf wouldn't mind too much if he chainsaw blitzes him. So it's still a good play for Rawlf. It's just you see how the positioning gets off so badly because of that one bad roll.
Yeah, it's just evident, isn't it, that it can just take one roll and you just drive. Your defensive drive is scuppered.
Yeah, and especially with dwarves, they are not a very forgiving team. Obviously, they don't have a lot of mobility. So one mistake by the coach, or that wasn't even a mistake, it's just bad dice. But you find yourself in a bad position pretty fast. Although I think, if you're Malmir, there's a good old casualty. What was that? A guard, Longbeard?
Yeah.
So that's no good for him.
He's used it. Yeah. He's used that.
Yeah, probably wouldn't if he had more of a team, but I think in this one he's probably thinking just use every last man he can get.
Gotta have numbers. Glad you're enjoying the stream, Gary. Good stuff.
Hi, Gary. How you doing, buddy? But I think as much as this is not going so great for Malmir so far, he's okay here because this game is really going to be decided on his drive. Whatever the Wood Elves do on their drive, you got to assume they're going to score anyway. This is going to be won or lost once he gets the ball.
Yeah, I agree. It's the second half will be the meaty one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Malmir still may have a chance here just to push a score a little bit earlier.
Yeah, he's playing well, like he's trying to do that. The thing is you're almost getting to a point here because of how slow this dwarf team is, where even if you get the ball back now, I'm not sure you can really push it and score in 3 turns or 4 turns. That'll be a tough score for him.
Yeah, I think even if you did pop the ball, I think you're looking at holding it, aren't you, and caging around it and just trying to hold on to it as long as you can.
Yeah, I mean, if he could get any shot on the ball here, that would obviously be brilliant for him. It's going to be tough with a strength 5 guy holding the ball,
though. When are you playing Morehouse?
Yeah. Yeah, me and Pete are going to play around the same time on Monday night.
So Monday night, okay. I could probably do that. I'm trying to think what I'm doing Monday. Yeah, okay. So I think I'll get, for anyone that's listening, we are looking at commentating on that one as well. Obviously, Morehouse will be playing, so he can't commentate, but Purple Chest will be there with me, all being well, to commentate through that as well. So
that should be that should be a lot of fun.
It will be. If this is successful, obviously this is something that I want to develop for tournaments, so there'll be a team around us. So if anybody's interested, feel free, not now, but drop me a PM, and we'll try and get something sorted. Yeah,
for sure. I think this will be a fun thing. And like we said earlier, for all the new people, any feedback you guys have, talk less, talk more, talk louder, talk quieter. This is our first try, so just let us know if you have any advice.
I think what we'll do more, we'll probably, if we open a forum post, then people can post there as well, can't
they? Some of the spectators are expecting me to be bragging a little bit more when I talk about my own game, but we'll get to that later. Let's focus on this one for a little
while. I don't think I can do a goblin voice, but interesting.
Malmir has resorted to the standard pray for snakes, which is often what you have to do when you're playing against Wood Elves. Just hope they fail something.
Yeah, that's one of those disguised comments.
Right. The old passive aggressive complaining. Yeah. if I were Rawlf, I would be trying to score next turn actually here, because I think if you score on turn 6, there is almost no chance that Malmir is going to be able to get a 3-turn score on you if you defend right. But there is a good chance that if he tries, you could get a counter score yourself and be up 2-0. So if he's going to score before turn 8, I think it would be right the next turn on turn 6.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I'd do actually. I don't play Wood Elves a great deal, so it's not really my forte. But
I've played a few games with him.
Yeah, just a few.
Just 500, give or take.
Is Mal going for the foul here, or is he just getting excited?
Sure. No. Yeah, I'm not. You know, it's a tough choice here for Malmir, which is probably why he's getting a little frustrated. That there's just not a lot you can do here. There's not really a play. You know, I'm a pretty aggressive player, so here I'm looking at things like, well, you could dodge with Morg a couple times and try to get the ball carrier. That's not a high percentage play, obviously. And even if you were to get it, you know, you get a bunch of dodges and a pow. You're probably not going to be able to hold the ball. The Wood Elves are just going to pick it right back up. So it's a tough position for Malmir.
Yeah, Merker makes a good point. I don't know Merker actually.
I think that the tact should be that we don't listen to our own games. But I'm not sure about. I know back in the old days when you were able to spectate your own games, the client allowed it. It was kind of frowned upon to actually do that.
Yeah, and also if anybody's listening to what I suggest, they've got it very wrong.
Right. Well, you know, and thinking about that too, I think if you were really trying to listen for advice, you would probably end up screwing yourself up because you're going to be hearing way too many people talking, and I don't know. I don't want somebody else's ideas in my head when I'm trying to play. It's hard enough to focus on my own mind.
Also, Merker, there's quite a bit of delay between when we actually talk and when it comes out on the actual live stream. There is a significant delay.
Oh, there's a good hit.
Yeah, big hit that. Bosh.
Tough call for Rawlf. He needs that player, but at the same time, he doesn't want to APO an already injured player when he's got those freaks on his team he's trying to protect. Oh, and he uses it, and it fails. The classic APO fail.
Yeah, happens more regularly than it should for me, I'm sure.
Yeah, I kind of miss the old living rule book 4 apothecary that worked 5 times out of 6. That was a little bit nicer.
Okay, think about what Merker said. Maybe we do it reflectively, so we wait for the turn to finish, and we maybe say what we might have done instead.
Yeah, I can see that. I
don't see it as a massive issue, but what we do.
Well, with these two coaches. Yeah, with these two coaches, it won't be an issue because neither one of them will want to hear what we have to say. They both know how to play. So I don't think it'll matter for this game, but I can see how it could become a factor.
Yeah.
And there will be some debate on whether or not that apothecary should have been used, of course. And obviously, Rawlf is wishing he hadn't because it failed. But I think it's still a solid play. You know, you got to think about the rest of the tournament. He's going to want that guy back for the next game, whether it's against me or Pete. So I think it was a good call. It didn't work.
I agree.
Oh, and this could be big here. Some kind of card, maybe a pit trap.
Pit trap is what. Oh, distract. Okay.
Distract. Yeah. All right. That's interesting. I'm a little surprised with the guy he played it on. I think I would have tried to get a little closer because I would have wanted that on the ball carrier too. It would have been nice to make that ball carrier roll really stupid and bonehead next turn.
Yeah, that crossed my mind. I didn't. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they do stack. Or is it just out of range? Who did he play it on?
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, he's out of range. He's out of range anyway.
Yeah, he's out of range, but I know that Distract stacks with normal really stupid, like on a troll, because my troll got hit with it in my last tournament game, so, or maybe 2 games ago, but I had that happen to me recently. But I'm not sure if they stack with the really stupid from the card.
Yeah, I don't know.
We have one spectator who says they will stack Distract and Witch's Brew, so we have one opinion saying it will stack.
If it was in range.
Well, yeah, correct, obviously. Correct.
I know. I'm just being, yeah.
Okay. Oh, really stupid. This is big.
Got it.
Oh, no.
Right next to Morg.
Oh, I think Rawlf had a blunder there. He forgot that was really stupid and not bonehead, and that it was a 4+ roll.
Yeah, that's...
Oh, no. And now you got the chainsaw right there next to your strike fighting war dancer.
Well, let's hope
squares away.
Yeah, and he's used his he used his reroll, so he only needs to fail 1 dodge from... Everyone's got
even
tackle.
If he doesn't, oh no, that could end up being a really, really bad mistake. Oh my goodness.
Oh, the
dear.
pressure.
Malmir's heart just jumped out of his chest on that one. He's going to be excited, man. Now you have several ways you can do this now. I would probably try to hit him with Morg first, personally, just to get that shot in. And then if that doesn't take him down, you can hit him with the blitzer. You can chainsaw him. This is a great position for Malmir.
Yeah.
And that's something I mentioned.
This is why I love this game.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. There's so much to adjust to. That was something I mentioned earlier. I'm worried about having that Witch's Brew be the ball carrier because something like that can happen, and you can.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's scuppered, isn't it? It's done.
Yep. It was prophetic. It turns out, but we'll see. Malmir still has to get him down and get the ball, so it's certainly not done yet. He does have his runner there pretty close, so if he can get the ball out, he should be able to get a hold of it.
Yeah, no time to score for the dwarf, so it's protect and hit.
Yep. And Malmir will be real methodical and take his safe blocks first and all that. That's the kind of player he is.
Yeah, Rawlf will be kicking himself for some time now. Especially if he ends up losing this, that's gonna be sore for some time.
Yep. And I bet if you asked him, he would tell you that what happened was he just got confused with really stupid and bonehead, and he thought that was a 2+ roll when it was really a 4+. I don't want to speak for him, but I imagine that's probably what happened.
I can see a failed chainsaw roll coming up here.
Yep. Let's see if Moore can get the power first of all if he decides to try it that way.
That's a good point, Knack.
All right, he went with the chainsaw, gets the stun. That is very nice. Not complain about that at all.
Yeah, and it's set up for a lovely foul next turn as well with the chainsaw.
Yep, absolutely. That's it doesn't get much better than that. Now,
would you hit the?
Oh no! He gets snake eyes his own. Oh my goodness!
This is
just when you think you've. Oh my goodness! Just when you think Malmir's got him right where he wants him. Look at that.
Okay. Still a score on here, isn't there?
Yeah. So this is
with a bit
let's see,
War Dancer magic.
I think so. Yeah, we don't have the AG5 anywhere too close, which is unfortunate for Rawlf. As one of them is injured, and I don't know, the other one's on the other side of the pitch. So yeah, I think you're probably looking right here at just the straight War Dancer, what Auntie's talking about in chat. 3+2+3+2+, leap back, pick up the ball, dodge out, and score, hopefully, if you're Rawlf. Oh, no, that's not what you want, though. All right, he's got a little more complicated of an idea, it looks like, but rolled a 1 on the first dodge, which is going to make it really tense. I will confess I am not quite sure what he has in mind right now. I guess was trying to pass up there to stall for another turn, but does not get the pickup, and looks like great shape for Malmir here to go 0-0 at half. And a very juicy foul on a strength 5 War Dancer with no apothecary available coming up here, I can imagine.
Oh, sorry, I had to disappear for a while. Had a phone call. Back now.
Okay, yep, no problem.
Right. Oh, juicy foul.
Yes, exactly. But Mal, like I said, he's a careful player, so he'll make sure he's got the ball safe first and everything. But
yeah, and he'll move those long beards as well, hopefully.
Lots of stomp chants from the crowd. They definitely want to see the foul.
I think we all want it. I think we all want it.
This is the part where you've got a superstar or legend War Dancer, and you just really are cringing right here knowing what's coming.
The crowd wants it. The crowd wants it.
Yeah, they're going crazy in the stadium for this one here.
Okay. Cool. I think I would stay there and cover the ball.
Yeah, the chainsaw's +3 to the armor break, so the odds of breaking armor are very, very good, regardless of how many assists you got. But I think if he can get that runner just a little bit on the other side of Morg. Oh, he dropped it again! Oh my goodness, you have got to be kidding me! Oh dear! And Morg uses a team reroll and catches the ball. That is, and Malmir is going. The coach is on the sidelines going absolutely crazy.
You just can't write. You can't write this stuff, man. You can't write it.
Yeah, that was something else. Wow, what a sequence. Okay, so now Rawlf is going to try to strip ball Morg here and score himself again, which would be quite the ending to the half and might make Malmir smash his computer. So the game might be over here in a second.
Let's see. We're up to 19 people on YouTube.
Oh, cool. Well, welcome everybody on YouTube. Again, if you're new on YouTube, we're commentating with the spectators and interacting with them a little bit, and you can't see that on YouTube. So if we're talking to somebody you don't know what we're talking about, that's what's going on.
I don't think I know 19 people in real life.
Yeah, that's more real life friends than I have, certainly.
We'll be friends together, Flicks.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Another one! My goodness!
What's he gonna do?
Oh, man.
Shit.
He's gonna try to get a 1 dice strip ball on Morg. I might have just gone with -2 dice there because he has Juggernaut. But either way, if you roll ones, it's not going to work.
Yeah, ones are no good.
Oh! Leroy is confused,
there
and the Wood Elves are not going to score.
And he's also there.
Wow.
He's also
That is
there for a
something
meaty foul again, unless they do something with that sword.
Oh my goodness. Yep, and can't because he just wasted his blitz on that really stupid roll.
Of course. Okay.
Oh boy.
Surf, then foul.
Against all odds, it looks like he is going to get another shot at that War Dancer with a foul here.
Surf, then foul. That would be my
Yep.
plan there.
What I would actually do here, I think, is I would try to chainsaw the catcher and then use that rookie Longbeard, perhaps. Or, I mean, you could use the chainsaw too, but the chainsaw doesn't have dirty players, so it doesn't add anything to the injury roll. So a foul with a bunch of assists is just as good as a chainsaw foul.
There is also that.
But he may not want to do it that way because he's probably counting on the chainsaw being banned anyway, so he doesn't want to lose 2 players.
Oh, the anticipation's killing me.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised he threw that Morg block first. Although he does want the crowd surf, but
That's big.
Another injury. Big. Yep.
Another 85 gone.
Yep, this is looking brilliant right now. Okay, and he did do what I had suggested of maybe trying the chainsaw and then fouling the War Dancer with a rookie. I kind of second guess myself after I said it, just because I'd be worried about 2 players getting banned, but it looks like he's going to do it that way. Here we go. And the stun. And Rawlf gets a sigh of relief, at least on that one.
Well, an intense first half.
Yeah, you know, the funny thing was about turn 3 or 4, we're sitting here talking, well, nothing's going to happen. It's a pretty basic drive.
No, it all happened. I think, to be honest, since Mal rolled skulls, when he dropped those double skulls, it all changed pretty quickly.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it all changed pretty quickly. Right, I'm just going to go
back in his favor.
I'm going to go grab another drink.
Yeah.
Just need another beer, and then I'll be back.
Sounds good, man. I think I'm going to do the same, so we'll be down for a couple
we'll
seconds.
Be back in 2 minutes. We'll be back. Okay, I am back. I hope everyone's enjoying it. I'd be interested to know what people think. But yeah, hopefully it'll turn into something a little bit more regular. And we'll just see what happens.
Okay, I'm back with my drink.
Oh, I was just saying some horrible things about you.
You can say it right to my face. That's totally acceptable.
That's not my style.
More of a sneaky behind the back type. Huh?
yeah.
Very
Absolutely.
honorable.
Don't ever turn your back on me.
I thought the British were known for chivalry, but I guess not in this case.
No, I'm English, not British.
I beg your pardon.
Topical.
So you say that as if an American knows the difference, in which I really don't.
Well, that's time. That's time. Yeah. Do you know, Goza? I think I've only ever said the word scuppered about 3 times in my entire life, and I've seemed to have used it in this game more than anything else.
He wants you to be a little bit more foppish, like Hugh Grant in a romantic comedy or something.
Oh, I hate Hugh Grant.
Yeah.
I've got the thing is, because I've moved around a bit around England, so because we have different dialects and accents, just like the Americans do.
Sure.
I've got a bit of a mix of everything, so
sure.
Yeah,
gotcha.
That's all of it. I kind of go in and out of different stuff.
Yep, I hear you. I've lived all over the United States, so mine is probably similar with a mix of different American accents.
Yeah.
So, well, everything's going great for the Dwarves here. Held off the score, got the ball, got in his cage. The high kick is a great one for Dwarves, especially with a
Absolutely.
minus. And,
so, do you think Rawlf's going to just try and pop it every turn?
No, I don't expect that, but I think it'll eventually get to the point where he'll have to try something. But like I said pre-game, if there's any new players watching here, watch what Malmir does with his guards every turn, and see if there are any turns where that strength 5 war dancer can even get 1 dice on the ball. Right? That'll be interesting. That'll be interesting to see. And one of the spectators has already commented he has not put guards on the corner of the cage here. He might move 1 back. Here, let's see what he's doing with his last
just
couple
above
guys.
those 2 rookie ones, yeah.
But also,
he hasn't.
No, he hasn't, and did not roll great. Now, I think on this first turn, he could be baiting Rawlf a little bit here on this first turn. He might not mind so much if Rawlf comes in right now and tries to pop the ball. That gives you a good chance to hit that war dancer back. And because it's turn 1, Rawlf doesn't really have any way to turn that into a quick score himself, even if he were to pop the ball. But he did get a guard right in a good spot there to end the move. So yeah, because of where the guards are here, guys, there is no 2D blitz in there that I can see. But he would have 1D blitz if he wanted with the war dancer. But with a sure hands ball carrier with Blodge, a 1D blitz is a pretty low percentage play. So I don't expect to see Rawlf take that until it gets a little more desperate.
Yeah. You see, that's not a bad runner either, is it? Shame about the minus movement, but
this team was like 2,500 team value for the tournament.
It's big.
Yeah, it's huge box dwarf team, and just took a ton of bad casualties to some Nurgle in the qualifying final.
It's the way this tournament works. So it's so dependent on who you get in your qualifiers.
Yep.
And I really like the setup of it.
Yeah, it's cool. I like that they all kind of have different formats, so there's a little bit different of kind of a meta challenge for every tournament. That's kind of cool.
It's a real pain to set up.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, we appreciate your efforts. I was going to say, as an orc player, it worked out kind of nicely for me this time because we got matched with goblins and undead, which are pretty good matchups for orcs. but if you're dwarves, they got matched up with Nurgle, which is not a great matchup for them. So credit to Malmir for coming out of that qualifier. That's a tough ask.
Yeah. Trees down, so that could potentially be a player down for the most of the game now. We'll see.
Yep. And Rawlf here just kind of trying to keep his spacing, make himself threatening without committing anything. A lot of Wood Elf play is really about that, just kind of being in a position where you're kind of lurking and you're ready to pounce whenever, and then knowing when that moment is.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to have to leave you just for a little bit. My daughter has returned.
Okay.
I'll be back in a bit. You're on your own.
Yep. Good.
Cool.
Good girl.
Cheers. Bye.
Yep. All right. Now that Throweck's gone, I'll be taking any questions about how much of a dork he is or anything else you guys want to talk about. Potential problem there with the cage setup. It's not clean. I imagine he will blitz that wrestle lineman. Yep, there we go. About 50% as much as UP. One of the spectators is asking questions, saying you hear dogs barking. So I work as a dog trainer, so if in the background you hear dogs barking, those are some dogs that need some more work after this game is over. I'll have to go get them to be quiet a little bit. And somebody asked, I have 3 dogs of my own, and I believe I have 7 of my clients' dogs in my basement waiting to be trained when this is over. Probably not Merker. I usually call him as I see him, so if I see that happening, I will definitely let you guys know. I don't think Rawlf is listening, so I'm not worried about that. My opinion on that is, I guess I'm not an administrator, so I don't make site policy. My opinion is that we can, on the honor system, trust that people who are playing are not listening to the commentary. So I guess that's my view on that. Yeah, I'm skeptical as to how much of an advantage it would actually bring, especially to 2 world-class players like Rawlf and Malmir. I would probably get myself more confused trying to listen to someone talk about what I should be doing while I was trying to play. for the YouTube people or people watching later, some spectators are asking questions about what if the people who are actually playing right now are listening to me commentating, and is that fair if I were to say, hey, you should blitz this guy or something? And so that's what we're kind of discussing right now with spectators. If I ever suspect that someone is listening to what I said, I'll make sure to give them some really bad false advice to screw them up. Pete made a nice little joke there about how my normal standard good advice would be bad advice. That's pretty funny, Pete. It'll be less funny when he's getting whipped on Monday, though. All right, so anyway, just kind of a standard dwarf drive here. Keeping the ball in the cage, keeping the wood elves at bay. See, check the guards here. Yeah, we got guards on the corners there for newer players or whatever. If you play bashing and selves, look at what Malmir's got right there. How the guards are on the corners of the cage, so there's nowhere you can leap in there and get yourself a 2D block. That's just good, solid positional Blood Bowl. Relevant, especially in this case, because even though he has a strength 4 ball carrier, there's a strength 5 war dancer around. So you're definitely going to want to keep the guards around the ball.
Okay, I am back. What did I miss?
Welcome back. We had a big old party. There were, hookers and lots of drugs, and they're all gone now. So you missed it all. Yep.
What a shame. What a shame.
Yeah, too bad. Anyway, we got a family man back on the mic, so we're gonna have to get all that stuff out of here.
Yeah, I do. I've got a dog and a cat. Actually, Pete.
I do believe that is a human child we are hearing now.
Oh, that's my dog.
Is she feeling better?
Yeah, she's got it all wrapped up in a cast.
All right, well, good.
Okay, so as expected, we're just grinding up the pitch.
Yep. You are not going to see Malmir do anything crazy here. He's a very methodical, by the book, kind of fundamentally sound type of player. He's got the advantage. He's got the ball in a tie game with dwarfs. He's going to be very safe and slow, and I would be surprised if Rawlf gets any real good shots at that ball. One of the spectators translated what I said into calling him a boring player, but I will comment on that because I don't think Malmir is a boring player. I think he's a conservative player, but he's actually a really savage counterpuncher. So he's the type of player who he doesn't like to take the lead, as I said earlier, but if you try to do something risky against him, he will make you pay for it. Especially if you watch on the sideline. Malmir is really good at setting up chain pushes for crowd surfs. So if anything jumps in there, a war dancer or something goes in there trying to get that ball, expect them to be out in the crowd before you know it.
Yeah.
I played Malmir some 15 times over the years or so I know his style pretty well. Of course, the smart tactical dwarven style is not always a crowd favorite, so some of the fans are getting a little bored, which will happen. But when I've played dwarves, and generally, if you're playing the dwarves, you are very happy to be boring. If things are boring, that means they're going your way.
And he's not afraid to foul. Oh, he's got dirty players, and he played that card. I've forgotten about that.
Yep. He's got the kicking boots, so might as well get some use out of it.
And obviously, there's always the threat of the one turner as well.
Yep, absolutely. You'll notice that Rawlf had 12 guys to start this drive, so he had just enough to keep that one turner on the bench, which I'm sure he was happy about. He didn't want to put that thing out there until he absolutely has to.
Oh, so goes. We need a jingle. Yeah. I did do a fumble podcast for probably about 12 months ago now, and I even did jingles and stuff as well, which was the thing is because I was doing it on my own. By the time I'd finished the episode, everything was out of date.
Right.
it's like there's no point. Just no point.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I always thought that way about like the karate little newsletter and stuff like that. And by the time we actually got done producing it, it was like a year later, and none of the information was relevant.
Yeah, it sucks really.
Yeah, this is cool for that though, to be able to live stream this game so we can talk about things right as they're happening. I think this is a good way to do that, to engage with the community.
Yeah, definitely. It just adds another level to it, doesn't it? Just a bit more dimension to it.
Yep. And I think not to get too much into the argument of where you play Blood Bowl or where you don't, but I think that's one thing that the PC game and the Cyanide crowd kind of has going for them, is that the streaming community is more of a thing for them that we don't really have. So it's cool that we're able to kind of provide that to Fumble here. Hopefully, if this works out.
Yeah, we'll see how it develops. Definitely. So at what point, Morehouse, would you get your runner into scoring position? What turn?
So if I'm playing the Dwarves here, Malmir's not going to overextend. He's not going to go too quickly, but I think he's at a good pace right now. You're at turn 4, or it's going to be his turn 5. So, he's thinking right now, if I can move up a couple squares every turn, I'll be in good shape. So I would expect him to advance the cage, a couple more squares on turn 5, a couple more on turn 6, and then turn 7 and 8, he'll be in a position to score, if all goes well, obviously. That's just the type of thing where, that's the type of game management that you will not see Malmir make a mistake on. So whatever pace he's moving at is the right pace for his team. There's no one who knows how to move his own team. He's a very error-free player, if there is one. If there's such a thing as someone who doesn't make mistakes in Blood Bowl, Malmir is as close as it gets. Obviously, you know, the threat of the one turner is a whole different dimension, though. So if you're Rawlf,
Well, it is. I mean, yeah, because I mean, how do you even start thinking about defending about from that when you've got the strength 5 war dancer that's just going to knock somebody out of the way?
Right. Yep. So, you know, but if you're Malmir right now, you're not worried about that. You know, you can't do anything about that right now. So you're just thinking, I'm going to run my drive. I'm going to score on turn 8.
Get the score.
And then
get the
see
score.
what happens. Yep. And if you're Rawlf, you're thinking, hey, you know, this is okay. Even if he gets the score on turn 8, I'm going to 1 turn, and then we'll try to win in overtime. So both coaches, I feel like, are fairly comfortable with where we are right now, most likely. This is a little interesting right here. I'm not sure about advancing the cage right up into that wall of wood elves. We'll see how Rawlf handles it, but when I'm a wood elf player, I love it when they get up into me like that with the cage, because there's just a chance that you could chain push somebody or pop open a spot to get a good shot at the ball.
Yeah, you don't want to leave. Yeah, because that's a mistake I used to make when I was, well, I still do, to be fair. you kind of, but all it needs is a push, isn't it? And then you've got an angle on the ball.
Yep, and you know, he very well. Let's see what he does with Morg here, because that's kind of what I expected. Okay, so not terrible. Let me kind of look at it for a little bit and see if I see any weaknesses to it. I think he covered it okay.
Oh
boy, himself a kill on a foul. Fans don't like that.
Blood for the blood god.
Just a wrestle lineman, but you know, everything counts.
Everybody loves a kill.
Yeah, for sure. Always good to see the blood splatter.
And we're up to 21. We've broke the 20 barrier.
Yeah, so this is the time where if you're Rawlf, I would take a second here and really look hard at any potential weird, you know, chain pushes or ways to kind of move that cage around, try to get a shot at the ball here. I don't see one myself right off the top, but I would spend a good couple minutes here just really looking at the board if I was Rawlf and seeing if there's anything he can get here.
Are you a timer outer, Morehouse?
I am a strict 100% 4 minutes and 1 second timer outer. Yes, absolutely.
Especially in tournaments.
Yeah, yep. Oh, and I should say, you know, if someone needs time because they're away from keys or, you know, their kid broke their foot or something like that, that's, you know, that's obviously within the rules. You can ask for time and that's fine. But I am a firm believer that part of the challenge of the game is making up your mind quickly. And so I won't get, yeah. So I, you know, and there are players that are frankly just more intelligent than I am. And if I give them 10 minutes to think of a move, they'll think of a pretty good one. But I think one of my strengths as a player is I tend to think fast and get my move quickly. So I'm not going to give anybody else more than 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Scarlett and Spec is asking about go for the 1D right now. The problem with the 1D block here is you got to pay attention. That's a blodge runner, and that ward entry does not have tackle. So a 1D block, it has to be a straight POW to get the ball out of there. Okay, so as we were just talking about, you know, what kind of pace would Malmir go at? He went a little more aggressive than I thought, getting his cage right up against the Wood Elf last turn. But
yeah, it surprised me.
Yeah, it surprised me a little bit too, but it didn't cost him at all because Rawlf didn't really have anything to go for or nothing that he wanted to take. So that a bit of a gamble maybe, but it worked out for Malmir because now he's in a nice spot here. Yep, and some of the spectators are commenting also that rather than going with the Ward answer, that you should try a negative 2 dice block with wrestle tackle. That would, of course, be another option. I'm looking at the guys right now to see who we have that's a wrestle tackle. Okay, yep, that AG5 lineman. So that would definitely be an option for him as well. And yeah, that's a 1 and 4, and then better with reroll, obviously. Yeah.
I think, I think that's something you learn as you develop, isn't it? Because for me, when I was just starting out, I would automatically just try the crazy stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And Pete is being nice and pointing out to me here that the other Ward answer also has wrestle, so that would be another option you could use.
That's a
Not getting up real nice and snug again, but
yeah, I'm not sure I'd have re-rolled that.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, he's getting up nice and tight again, isn't he?
Oh, hey, sorry, I was up grabbing a beer and my headphones didn't quite reach.
Yeah, no worries, man, no worries.
But yeah, he is up nice and tight again here. And if you're Malmir, you're thinking we did it once and it worked, so let's do it again.
Yeah, the good old reverse L defense formation. Yeah, and this is when the tree becomes useless.
Yep, and you just kind of accept that as a Wood Elf player. You know that there's going to be a lot of games the tree isn't going to do a whole lot for you. I think if you were going to try a wrestle tackle type play, a negative 2 dice block here, I think this would be the turn to do it probably. I'm not sure if Rawlf really is feeling that, but I think this might be a good time to try. I don't know. What do the spectators think?
Well, yeah, we'll wait and see. I'm still trying to get over the fact that I've been calling Krista Christer for 5 years.
Yeah, we should do a little public service announcement on that. The guy who runs Fumble's name is pronounced Krister, not Christer. So Krister, not Christer. Everybody keep that in mind.
I know, and I can see people, their minds have just been blown. I can see it.
That's what we do here. We blow minds.
Steady. I don't believe you, Pete. I don't believe you.
That's a good general rule, is never believe anything Pete says.
Funny stuff.
Everybody's acting real smart and pretending like they would have pronounced it right all along, but I think something.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Trying something.
What's it gonna be?
Oh, not quite.
Oh man, not good.
Yeah, it took, to me, that's kind of like a half-hearted attempt. Like he didn't really want to try, but he thought he should try because he didn't use a tackle guy there. He just kind of used a throwaway lineup. So that's one where he's going to try a risky move, but it's not the best move, but it's one where he doesn't mind that much if the guy gets hurt. Or, he's only risking a lineman he doesn't care about that much rather than the war dancer.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I agree with Pete here. I think Malmir needs to get a little closer. Does he have any? He doesn't have any with grab. It would be real nice to have a grab guy to hit that sidestep catcher on the sideline here. But I think I would just go at it and try to knock him down and kind of get around the flank here.
This is.
Oh, he does go for that blitz, but does not get. And re-rolls it. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. So he's thinking along the same lines that he needed to get around that edge this time, and brought himself down to one re-roll to get around the flank. So, I don't know. That would have been tough. That re-roll right there is a tough call.
I think it was probably a do or die, wasn't it? You got to make it easy.
Yeah, he put it all on himself there to make that roll.
Let's hope it pays off.
Yep, and
I guess it depends who you're rooting for.
Well, I'm not really rooting for anybody, but but yeah, we'll see. A good point by Zed in the spectator chat that Malmir still has cards, and one of them very well could be greased shoes, which would really put a halt on any kind of a one-turn try.
Yeah, that would be ace.
If that's something that Rawlf is thinking about and aware of, that should certainly make him want to be a little bit more aggressive here. Maybe if you're thinking about he might have greased shoes.
Yeah, he needs to pop the ball.
Yep, you can't depend quite on that one turner in this situation because of that. So we'll see if he tries something here or he just takes his chances with the cards.
Yeah, that was a good move. Risky, I think.
Yeah, that's nice. I
think, do you know what? Eamon 242, as much as we would love to, it's actually quite exhausting.
Yeah, there's kind of a lot of pressure when you're the one sitting here talking.
Yeah, it's fun. Don't get us wrong. I'm having a really good time. But
for sure.
Maybe we could do. I don't know if we're on Morehouse at one point. Maybe we could do a couple of bits of commentary.
Yeah, for sure. I would. I'd be happy to sit and chat a little bit about. I don't know if I want to do a whole other game, but we can keep the stream running for a couple minutes after and do a little post game. That'd be okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Pete is asking me which team I would rather play after I beat him on Monday, and I think either one is fine with me. Malmir will be really tough, obviously, because the he's going to have more guard, more muddy blow than me, and he'll be able to bash me a little bit. And then obviously a good Wood Elf coach with some good helps is dangerous too. So. And all kidding aside, I'm sure Pete is expecting to win on Monday too. So I guess I'll ask him, who would he rather play? Pete wants to play the injured Wood Elves. That would resemble a lot of the ranked games he's taken over the years, so I'm sure he's comfortable with that matchup.
Are you trying to establish that Pete's a picker?
You can take that for whatever, however you want to take it.
Oh.
Yeah. A good play. He gave it a shot. He realized that was the chance.
Had to try.
Yep.
Yeah. Had to try.
Did he save his reroll there? I missed a second of it.
He did save his reroll.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I probably would have done as well, actually, because it's still only a one dice block, isn't it? So.
Yeah, again, it's one of those situations where you kind of have to. Do you commit everything to something, or do you kind of probe out there and try it? But if it doesn't work right away, save the reroll. That's one of the tough judgment calls in Blood Bowl.
We could do is, if people want to donate to Fumble, we could give a little shout out for their league.
Yeah, I'd absolutely be willing to do that. We should be using this as a platform to help Krister. I almost said Chrysler again, but to help Krister raise money for the site also.
Absolutely. Well done, Mal. Nice dwarf grind, classic.
Yep. Good drive. It won't make the fans happy, but that's a good, slow dwarf drive there. Well done by Malmir.
And do we see, I think we will see the Greased Shoes card come out into play here.
Yeah, just the feel of the game and kind of the way Malmir has played it. Yeah, I would not be surprised at all if he knows he's got that in his hand here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And because of that, if you're Rawlf here, what you need to do is set yourself up to get chain pushes anyway, even though you normally don't need them. If he can get a couple pushes, he can one turn without having to go for it. So Rawlf should definitely be thinking about that don't set up like a normal one turn. Set up to get some chain pushes if you have to, if he plays the Greased Shoes. And Malmir did put Morg, who's strength 6, so obviously he's hard to push around, and one stand firm on the line, but there is a rookie dwarf in the middle that is pushable. Well, maybe he's going to edit that a little bit now. He does not. Yeah, he doesn't have any more stand firm, so he doesn't really have the option to make it really hard to push.
Yeah, there's not a lot you can do here. But it's still a 3+ leap, isn't it? So.
Yep, and yeah, even if he doesn't have, even if he doesn't have the card, people act like these one turns are just automatic because it feels like that when you're victimized by one. But there's still dice to roll, so even if he doesn't have the Greased Shoes, it's certainly not an automatic score. Well, let's see how Rawlf sets up here. I think this will be a key look here to see what he's thinking right now. He got victimized by the cards a little bit earlier with that really stupid on the ball carrier. So let's see if he's able to redeem himself here.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, but that's one of the good arguments for cards is that a lot of people play with a certain routine in mind, and those cards kind of randomize the game, and a lot of times you can catch people just not thinking about those certain card effects.
Yeah, and they do. And actually, in the new box game with the cards, because there's different cards, it's been interesting because our league commish has taken the ruling that actually they're far too random. So they really do change the game significantly.
Yeah. I don't love using them in my tabletop league for that reason. I got one against a newer player in a first game that gave me basically like it was some kind of like wizard-like card. It was like a bomb or something. It blows up the ball carrier, and I just felt a little dirty using it against a rookie player.
Yeah, because you know what's coming. Oh, hey, Vermin. Vermey's in. Right. Let's see how this works out for the Wood Elves.
All right. Yeah, here we go. By that comment, I feel like Malmir does not have grease shoes. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Although if I were Mal, I would have kept that quiet for a couple more seconds, because after he said that, now Rawlf is messing with his setup a little bit.
Yeah, so at least let him finish setup first.
Right, yeah, exactly. I always try to make sure before I give any relevant trash talk to yep, there you go. Malmir says he does not have grease shoes.
Okay, so this is going to be interesting. So we've got tackle covered on all bases, but that won't matter because he's going to leap.
Yeah, but for the post leap dodge, he will have to dodge out of tackle. Well, no, because does he have tackle on both? Yeah, tackles on both the blitzers too, so there's no non-tackle spot.
Yeah, absolutely. So and he'll just leap over them anyway.
But there is no sure hands or pass.
As I say, I think we'll see a fail pickup.
Yep. So that's just adding more dice to your roll. That's one of the reasons I do like throwers on Wood Elves. Some people don't. Box players tend to less because they play a lot of bash. So it's not as much elf ball, but a thrower would be nice here for Rawlf. And yep, he's not trying any pushes. He's just going to try to get it to the star and let him work.
Let's see what happens here. Drum roll.
Oh no. That's a rough
good.
time to take that first one. Here we go. Got the pass. Oh boy.
This is tense. This is tense.
Yeah. This is what it's all about right here. Yep, he's got
leap, failed, death.
Yeah. Oh, is he? I think he's going to try to blitz a hole.
No.
Okay. What does he forgo? What? Yeah, that would be 2 go for it. I don't think you try to blitz there. It's painful, but I think you got to just try it and hope you get the rolls here. Here we go. Oh wow! And it comes right down to the end. And Malmir has advanced. Well done. Good job, Malmir. Well done. And we'll let the crowd go wild for a second. All right. Well, that's a good game. I, for one, am not surprised that even with the shorthanded team, Malmir made it a good close game because he's just that kind of player. And I think he deserved it. I think he played a little bit better, and I think it was justice in that one. That's a good game and a good result.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so unlucky. So unlucky. So,
yeah,
key moments.
Yep. The first half, failing that score is just a bad time for the Wood Elves. And but he did put himself in that position with a couple mistakes with the way he was handling it, I think, and he'll be kicking himself a little bit about that. Some of those plays in the first half, but
he'll feel it. And I think you were right in terms of although he's strength 5, carrying the ball with the Witch Brew.
Yeah,
probably wasn't the greatest idea, but
I was nervous about that right from the start, just because that's the kind of thing you see as a disaster scenario. But like I said, the people get into a routine where they, this is the way I play this team, and this is if he carries it to strength 5, that's what he does, and that's what the cards are great for. They just kind of randomize things a little bit and make it very difficult to play your standard game that you normally would.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, It was. I honestly thought when Mal had rolled those double scores, I thought, oh, this is where it's going to turn nasty. And I honestly thought it would just be an easy in for the Elves, but it wasn't at all, and it changed completely.
Yeah, you know, and Malmir had some bad dice there too, because he had Snake Eyes tried to pick up that ball twice, so it was a really strange end of that first half.
Yeah, it was weird, wasn't it? And then Moore caught it.
Right. Yeah. Yes. Exactly. And then he failed trying to strip the ball from him. And it's quite the interesting.
It's just the end of the first half was really intense. Yeah, it was really funny. Really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very dramatic, and then the second half kind of played itself out how you would expect more, just more of a basic dwarf drive. But the damage had already been done for Rawlf by failing to score on his drive, so he was on the back foot already. And yeah, that's kind of what I suspected that Rawlf was saying, that he got confused with bonehead and really stupid there, and that's why he made that play he did. And it that happens. That's a easy mistake to make.
Yeah.
And especially if you don't play with cards that much, it's very easy to make that kind of mistake. So that's the way it goes.
It does indeed. Right. Well, I think it was a success. I enjoyed myself, Morehouse. You must have enjoyed yourself, I presume.
Of course, yeah. It was a good time. It seems like everyone is giving positive reviews. If anybody has any...
I'll start a forum.
Yeah.
I'll start a forum and we'll see what comes of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
If anybody wants to ask any questions or anything before we take off here, I'd be happy to answer them. But if not, we'll probably be about done.
Yeah, I think because they're closing down the game anyway. So.
Okay, all right.
So.